identity. Today's discussion explores how the arts community is innovating to balance tradition and modernity, ensuring that theatre remains a powerful platform for cultural expression. In studio, we have Mophato Dance Theatre Creative Director, Mr. Andrew Kola, to explore the future of theatre arts here in this republic. Mr. Kola, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I just wanna start here. The state of theatre in Botswana. Just give us an update on the state of theatre in Botswana.
I think the state of theatre in Botswana is, I think it's in a good space.
Okay.
It's only that there's limited support in terms of showcasing it.
Which is always the case. Without the support, there's always a problem. Right, go ahead, Era.
Because remember the theatre, all the spaces, they thrive with funding and all that.
Right.
It's a social responsibility at the end of the day, whereby others they're focusing in developing their communities, others they're focusing on doing commercial works and all that. So it's really a space that I believe, in terms of keeping our youth, our people engaged and all that, we should tap into. But I think there's an opportunity there.
Right, right. I also really feel and believe, especially, having the likes of Mophato Dance, they are really bringing it to life. Now, let's talk about Botswana's theatre in terms of blending traditional storytelling and modern performance in its production. Just help us understand that.
Okay. Remember that basically in terms of our traditional forms of dance, I'll say that we have a lot of storytelling in there.
Yes.
Which is something that we are good at, in terms of, we will take things like Tsitsuwe is a storytelling, especially when they do a heli dance, or the Hosanna dance when they're doing the rain dance, praying for rain and all that. So it's a storytelling most of the time. Unlike we go to Setapa and all that, it's celebration most of the time. They are celebrated during weddings or moments where hangwana. So we use Setapa or parties and all that. Or parties, we celebrate the good harvest from the good rains and all that. So basically, it's a story. It's a production at the end of the day. So we just have to now enhance it, take it into a theatre, into a proper space, then tell it to the audience.
Right, and the idea is to modernize it, because we're in this day and age. And how does that work? Because nowadays you've got the modern person that which if you come with a conventional Setapa and the like, it might not be appealing to them, and then theatre now can synergize that. Go ahead.
Okay, I think that's where Mophato
comes in.
Comes in, saw the opportunity and said, let's do this. So we're going to do contemporary dance, but fuse it with our traditional forms, tell our story through contemporary dance. So which means we develop our setup, our partisi, our Hosanna into a better modern, whereby someone, 2000 or whoever living in this, they can
Gen Zs and the like,
they can understand it at the end of the day. You understand? They can see themselves. The most important thing is identity. If you are able to see yourself as in, okay, this is Setapa, but they're doing it differently. This is Hosanna or Tsitsuwe, they're doing it differently. I can see a bit of contemporary dance there. You understand?
I like that, and obviously there is an inspirational story behind it as far as Mophato dance is concerned. Who synergize the traditional way of storytelling into the modern way of things, such that the Gen Z, Jalama 2000 are able to sort of relate and say, okay, I'm actually interested in this thing. Well, what is that inspiration as far as Mophato is concerned?
No. I think now I was inspired when I went for residency training in Joburg, in a dance company. So then I saw how they work when they fuse their traditional dance forms with the contemporary world and all that. So now it caters for everyone. Remember that contemporary dance is mostly Western and European.
Of course.
Yeah. So now bringing it, you are attracting so many people. You are attracting people from like your diplomats around who are living in the country. That
exactly
they can see themselves too. You understand? Even Botswana, and they start supporting, and you have a following of people coming to, or our youth getting interested to do the form now.
Actually, it just popped into me right now as you're explaining that, the idea of adopting it and modernizing it also forms a part of a marketing tool. In that, if you're going to modernize it enough and you're performing for an expat or a diplomat from one of those particular countries, you may be able to attract a much more broader audience, and as far as being invited now out there to go and do that. I can only imagine the work that actually goes in to now moving it from the traditional way of storytelling now to contemporary dance, such that it appeals to. Let's talk about the different experiments that actually go into now putting together a sort of performance. It's the storytelling, but in a modern way.
Most of the time, basically, it's we do a lot of training. Trying to develop movements that will suit the production, or again in terms of research, whatever production that we are tapping into, whatever story that we want to talk about, we do a lot of research into that, and then develop movements for that. Obviously, fusing them with our traditional forms again. I think that's basically what we are trying to develop, so that we can cater for all audiences. You understand?
Wow. I keep going, I'm just trying to put myself in one of the crew's positions, and you're contemporizing Tsutube. I'm thinking, how is that even possible?
No, it's very possible. It's very possible, as in and with a person like me, because I've done a lot of traditional dance. I've done traditional dance from my primary, junior, senior, tertiary, and out of school groups and all that. So I sort of understand it better. You understand? And me now getting trained into contemporary dance now, again, now I saw an opportunity to fuse the two and create new movements, which are, I would say, these are local movements. They are not movements inspired from any other country or what.
I like that. I really, really like that. I've been to a few, if not a lot, of the performances by Mophato, and it's always a magical and wow moment, because we never know what to expect or what's just going to just blow out of the stage. It's important to remain relevant, or rather above water, and perhaps maybe from a creative director's point of view. In your thought, how can theatre arts in this particular republic here continue to be a powerful platform for cultural expression?
No, I think there's a big opportunity for us to focus into theatre and see how we export it international markets and all that. Remember that international, because we are thinking of creating jobs, not just exporting talent. We are trying to create jobs.
Yes.
You understand? So there's a lot of issues around that. Remember that there's the Lion King, which is in almost all the continents around the world. You understand?
Right.
And the Lion King is hiring, you would say, 10 artists from Lion King in every continent have to be South Africans. So that's the contract and all that. So we should approach it like that way too. You understand? Whereby we taking a production. If you have a production in Broadway, we have a production in West End in London. We have a production in Asia, in Dubai, and all that. And these productions basically they hire local talent. We export talent from here. You understand? So I think that's very possible in terms of showing the world our culture and all that. We have beautiful stories that we can tell.
Course,
we have Kola, the musical is there. It's just to take it internationally and plot it somewhere, and people, they will receive it. You understand?
I really like that. Speaking of I think the Lion King. I think one of us here in Botswana actually went and did like a French rendition of it, or of some sort. And I just thought to myself, wow, and it's just so amazing. But I try by all means to avoid having to discuss issues of challenges faced. But look, we actually face challenges, and it's always important to sort of kind of unpack them such that perhaps maybe a solution to those challenges to better perfect the art, the craft, for better, to also be able to fare, in the world over. But from your point of view, creative director Mophato, what are those challenges?
Nothing. One of the challenges that I think it's. I'll not talk more about funding.
No, exactly. Yes.
But it goes back to issues of funding again.
No, go ahead.
Whereby we have the National Arts Council at the moment. You
Right.
understand? So
Yes.
National Arts Council is there to develop the talent. No, you understand? Just like what BNSC is doing.
Exactly.
You understand? From the grassroots and all that. So right now, if you don't have programs like that, which are developing talent from grassroots and all that, so what are we saying? When in the next, 10 years, will we have new artists? Or where will the new artists? So when we are not developing artists from the grassroots, you understand? So I think I'm more worried of development because we don't have a lot of even projects which are funded at the moment. They are not of development; they are just commercial works. You understand?
Yeah.
So now there's a gap which is developing between development and you understand.
It's and that needs to be addressed because then if there's too much of a void and it's separating the two, then we can't quite progress quite well now, can we?
No, we can't. We can't.
Look, time is always a factor, but I have to ask this: what are you guys working on in as far as projects? As Mophato Dance.
Mophato Dance Theatre is invited to perform at the World Dance Festival in South Korea.
Nice.
September.
Nice.
So we have, it's a big festival, one of the biggest festival competition again.
Wow.
But basically it's a festival, but the best country is gonna win something. You understand?
Wow.
So, and we are preparing for that. But we have a show that we are doing this week on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at my Piso as a form of raising funds for our Korea trip and all that. So because so now we plan our contribute something to take ourselves there because funding is very difficult to get it at the moment.
It's funny that you are making mention of funding because this is going to be the next question that I was going to put to you. Because of this Hakuna Madi and how are you guys keeping afloat? And you actually sort of answered it by saying, but this is just a subset of the fact that le raise the funds for South Korea for this. But how else do you guys keep afloat?
No. I think at the moment is because there's no much of corporate events happening, but we get one or two there which sustain us for probably a month. You understand? But again, in terms of Korea, that's the main target. We want to create a show where people can come see our work. Then from there maybe they can get inspired and fund us. Some of them again. We know that people who are following us, but you can't just so you just have to give them something so that they can at least pay you. Okay, let me come see Mophato as my contribution, or you guys can make it to Korea. You understand?
I like that.
Yeah.
Final question: future of theatre in Botswana. Where are we headed?
Yeah.
Where should we be going, rather?
I'll say at the moment, I think. We should be very aggressive in terms of how we export our talent.
Our talent, right?
You understand? I think I liked what Brand Botswana did Maluba with putting Amantle Brown in London. And
yes, that's a great move actually.
Those are things that we need to focus into. You understand? Whereby we take a production, we plot it somewhere in London, West End.
West End, you understand? Mophato Dance Theatre, South Korea.
And not just for
that particular, exactly.
Just for long, let's say 6 months. You know how much money can we create from that? You understand?
Wow. Yeah.
And how much in terms of job creation can we create in that? You understand? So those are things that we should look into. So I think Broadway is waiting. Everywhere is waiting. There's a market in America. We talk about so many states that you can tour and make a lot of money out of it.
And we need funding to unlock that sort of money.
We need funding.
We can grow. And I'm sure, and I really believe that also the theatre also adds value to growing and developing the economy of the country. Plays a vital role as well. Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Kola, thank you so much for popping in to chat to us about just the theatre industry here in the country, as well as also sharing there's this great news that you guys are heading out to South Korea. It's quite beautiful, the work that you guys are doing. Please keep it up.
No, thanks a lot.
Right. And that was the creative director, Andrew Kola, coming out of Mophato Dance Theatre. And, you know, he just put something to me, and I felt it's very important that I should also reiterate this. They've got this show Thursday, Friday, Saturday, this particular week, and they're raising funds for them to head out to South Korea there for that particular performance. And it's important because they also get to develop, and they can actively also play their part in the development of the economy of this country.